India is preparing a major incentive to attract global cloud infrastructure, which is wonderful. The government has proposed a 20-year tax holiday for foreign companies operating cloud services from data centers in India, a policy that could remain in place until 2047. The move aims to accelerate data center investment and position India as a regional digital hub. But some domestic cloud startups say the policy could create uneven competition if similar incentives are not extended to Indian providers. Shedding light on this and of course a lot more, joining me today is Siddharth Jindal, our very own tech journalist, who has written an article on this, and he has some interesting insights. So let's dive deep with Siddharth and find out what is his take. Welcome to Front Page. Siddharth, how are you doing?
Yeah, thank you, Sudhi, for having me again. Good to be here.
As always, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
So, Siddharth, I want to start with some numbers first. Indian cloud providers currently pay 25% corporate tax and 18% GST.
Yeah.
Correct? So, the first question I have for you is, does the proposed tax holiday risk a tax advantage for global hyperscalers operating from India?
Yeah, absolutely. So when the Union Budget announced the 20-year tax holiday for global companies which can set up data centers in India, so I was curious, like, what does it mean for Indian neo cloud players? So over the past few years, we have seen like several Indian neo cloud players emerging, like Yota, E2E, NASA, New Cloud. So they should also get the same benefit. So I talked to them. So I talked to Next Gen CEO AS Rajgopal. So the tax benefit is on the export of data which they'll be doing.
Right.
Like global companies which will set up data centers in India and they'll be exporting data to other countries. So that for that they're getting tax benefits. But on the same hand, there's disparity. So Indian cloud players are not getting the same benefit. If they're exporting data, so they will not get the same benefit. So AS Rajgopal raised some concerns on that. So he said for now, I think they will look into the STPI framework, which looks after that.
Okay.
So yeah, that is going to create some uneven competition. So anyways, like India never really had a big hyperscaler. So when these
But that doesn't mean you, come up with a policy which is so lopsided.
Yeah, so when these small new cloud players started emerging, so it created some uneven competition, this tax holiday thing.
But strange, no, Siddharth? It's contradictory to the entire thought process. The idea is to nurture and shelter your own. And fair. I mean, bring on the international companies. That's wonderful. But also at the same given point in time, you've got to create that very nice playground for your internal companies to prosper as well. Why do you feel that was not kind of given some sort of thought?
So it's a double-edged sword. So when big companies will come to India, so they're not going to do all the work themselves. Then they'll come to these players to help them set up data centers in India.
Okay.
So that's what the CEO of New Cloud Sen told me. So when these companies will set up data centers in India, the investors' interest will grow. So they invest more in these small cloud players who will help them set up data centers.
Okay.
For instance, for the data center in Vizag, for which Google announced of 50 billion. So they partner with Adani and Airtel.
Sure.
So Airtel is going to help in networking and Adani is also going to help them in infrastructure layer. So the Adani Connex is the name of the unit which will be helping them. So it's a double-edged sword, I will say. So, and like Narendra Sen also told me that to reach 10 gigawatt of capacity, it will attract around 60 billion of direct investment. So it's a huge number.
Wow, that's
so last year we saw like how AWS committed 12.7, Google 15, and Microsoft 17.5. So it's a double-edged sword. Like but on the domestic side, like if the Indian neo cloud players have an advantage. So it's only on the export side.
Which is where the disparity is.
Yeah.
But the fact is, what I was thinking of and what I could understand from what you said, since you mentioned double-edged sword, I feel maybe in a way what the government is probably saying is that these companies will piggyback on our local or our neo-cloud companies, which means that the so-called ecosystem will prosper.
Yes.
But there is still not enough playing ground for them to individually, for example, prosper. Am I right? Am I understanding this correctly?
Yeah. So like for instance, that like if global data is stored in India, so they shouldn't like pressurize their laws on that data. Like foreign jurisdiction shouldn't come into the picture.
Absolutely
like
not,
Indian
yeah.
law should be applied on that data. So
Sure.
that is one area which needs to be taken care of.
You just mentioned capacity. So I'd want to,
Yeah.
of course, now draw your attention to capacity. India's data center capacity is supposed to grow from 1.4 gigawatts to 8 gigawatts by 2030. So now, will this policy, as we've discussed till now, strengthen, for example, infrastructure, or will it put pressure on our startups?
So, like customers wise,
Cloud startups is what I mean.
yeah, on cloud startups, you can definitely put pressure, but it is definitely going to increase the capacity. Yeah, like
Okay.
capacity wise, it definitely going to help. But like if we want independent hyperscaler, that is not
Sure.
going to happen by this.
Ah,
Yeah, like then we'll be still dependent on global
True.
hyperscalers.
true.
And these companies will end up helping them in cooling.
Is it a lack of capital, Siddharth? Is it that the companies which
Yes,
are the cloud
definitely,
startups,
yeah.
as far as
So, like,
our Indian
building-
ecosystem is concerned?
Yeah, building data center is not an easy task. It definitely requires a lot
Absolutely
of
not.
capital. So these big tech have deep pockets and they can invest heavily.
So that's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem.
So that's why maybe the cloud startups in India, the policy is not assisting them in a way which might not then attract the global companies. So the attention is given a lot more to the global companies because they have the capital. They
Yes.
come in,
Yeah,
they expand,
their
and
investment
in
will come
that way they make a connect with the cloud.
So last year when I was chatting with Sunil Gupta, like CEO of Yota,
Yeah.
so he also told me like the OpenAI announced their project's target, so it's also a like data center project. So like so they were also in talks with several players like who can help them in setting up data center. Yota was also one of them at that point of time, if I'm not wrong. So, and most recently when during the India AI Summit, they announced a partnership with TCS. So they have their own cloud unit, Hypervolt. So this is the process, like this is the pattern we are recognizing. As of
Yota,
now.
if I remember, during the India AI mission, I believe that India AI Summit, sorry, they ended up bringing in a lot more GPUs as well. There was an announcement
GPUs,
as well
they
made
announced
on that,
and partnership with NVIDIA.
which is encouraging.
Yes, this is like the signs are positive, but like if lot of data centers will be controlled by global entities, like so what will happen to Indian neo cloud players? That's my question.
That's the question mark.
That's the question.
But
I'm
whatever
asking,
you have understood till now from, let's say, the CEO of NextGen, they believe that they will be approaching the policy makers.
Yeah, they said they'll be approaching policy makers. So he also suggested some frameworks like for domestic services like finance, healthcare, education, the local cloud players can be given priority instead of the global one in these areas.
They're also building data centers in space.
That
New
cloud is building
Yes.
with Agnikul. That's a good initiative. Like while we have Star Cloud in the West, which has already run into.
Will that get affected?
Huh?
Do you feel will that get affected with this policy or no?
No. That will not get affected. This is only for the exporting of data.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. So
it doesn't apply to like domestic customers.
That remains untouched.
That means untouched.
Which actually brings me to a very crucial question, which is that how should the policy makers address this fact, Siddharth, that the data, I mean, these are global companies, right?
Yeah.
So how is it that we ensure that India's data remains under Indian jurisdiction? What should be the thought given as far as the policy is concerned?
Yeah, so there should be definitely policy like whoever comes and build data center in India, and for the data that is stored inside those data centers, so their jurisdiction shouldn't come into the picture. Like Western law should not come into the picture, and like the laws which we have built, which the Indian government is going to build, should be applied on that, and that data shouldn't be shared or like sold off without any permission. Like
is that already a part of the policy, or does this still need clarification?
That will still need some more clarification as these global data centers come into the India. Like while we already have DPDP Act and like sovereign data policy, we'll need to clarify like what exactly is going to happen when these data centers are built. Like as we are speaking, these data centers like have not been built.
Sure, agreed.
All the announcements have been just made. So when the process will get completed, we need to understand like how this is going to move ahead. And
I just sure
and like how much of data like these hyperscalers are going to control.
Correct.
Yeah.
But honestly, Siddharth, I just sure hope that there is a wonderful little balance that could be struck
Yeah.
between the global giants and, of course, our cloud startups. I really wish that balance
Yeah, I
can be
really
struck.
want these Indian new cloud startups to like
Yeah,
come out and like really put India on the like
on the map,
on
yeah,
the
on the
map
global map.
global map of data centers. So like those global companies have a lot of incentives, like the land, electricity
Correct.
are cheaper in India.
Everything is subsidized.
Yeah, everything is subsidized, and like running a data center is not in like a easy task. Like lot of natural resources are required, like
Agreed.
lot of electricity, water. Like they definitely have the benefit. Like India will definitely help. The governments will help them,
For sure.
like on subsidized land rates, electricity rates, and water. But that doesn't mean they can take benefit of India in that
Yeah,
sense.
I
Like,
just hope that
yeah,
it remains in balance. As always,
yeah,
Siddharth, it's been a
yeah.
true pleasure having you with us on Front Page. Thank you so much for all of your insights. And ladies and gentlemen, as I would like to, of course, mention, as I always do, please follow Siddharth Jindal and his articles because they're very insightful. He writes wonderfully for the Analytics India magazine. So please look out for Siddharth Jindal's articles. And as far as the Front Page take is concerned, it's here based on our discussion. The tax holiday could bring major investment into India's data center ecosystem, as just discussed between Siddharth and I. But the long term success of the policy may depend on ensuring domestic cloud providers are not left competing at a tax disadvantage. Please do let us know what are your thoughts in the comments below. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Front Page by the AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.